Hey guys, welcome back to the Kool-Aid Podcast. Welcome back to another video. On today's video, guys, we're going to be building up to that game tomorrow against Real Madrid. We're going to be looking at some of Hansi Flick, Raphinha's, and Dani Olmo's words before tomorrow's big match, the El Clasico showdown. But guys, before I get started on the video, make sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. Everything's posted down below in the description. Go over there and check me out. That way you guys can stay up to date with everything that I do on the channel. And as well, guys, if you guys missed our episode last night in which Barca News did feature, go make sure to check that out. It was a very interesting episode, and make sure to go check it out if you haven't seen it. But guys, let's get straight with the video. All right, guys, let's get straight into the video and let's look at some of Hansi Flick's words ahead of that match against Real Madrid because, typical, the Barcelona manager speaks before every single game, and they did give some words ahead of that match. Hansi Flick started off by saying, "We have our approach and ideas. We already had them against Bayern, and we realized that we had to improve. In every game we have to adapt to the next game, and now it's time to adapt to Real Madrid." It's like in every game. Now we play against Madrid, and all the players are very prepared. But I trust my players because they are doing great. After the 1-1 against Bayern, we went up, and that's a good sign because it means that we believe in ourselves. With more possession and in attacks, with and without the ball, we have shown it, and we will continue to show it. Right there, Barcelona confident and Hansi Flick confident in his team. He talks about the rest. He says, "We're not going to change anything. It can't be changed. At the end of the day, it's Madrid, and they played on Tuesday, and we played on Wednesday. At the end of the day, that's it. Each one to his own thing. Our players have trained well." Hansi Flick reiterating that the Barcelona players are well prepared for tomorrow's match. Hansi Flick, he talks about the offside trap, which, there is some doubts. A lot of people have been questioning the high line, the offside trap, and Hansi Flick, he responds by saying, "We have a lot of coaches who are looking at this, but it's our philosophy to press as much as possible with and without the ball. We have to get closer and closer to being a compact unit and not leave spaces between the lines. What we've done is great, especially in the second half against Bayern. It's not easy to train, and we're going to have to adapt and balance the loads so that training isn't so hard. The players are doing great, and they've adapted and adapt to the game, so the changes work. I believe in the team, and we have a lot of qualities, and that's what we want to see. Everyone plays at their best and supports each other. When we're united, that's our greatest strength." And with Barcelona playing this type of football, playing aggressive, playing with a high line, and having that outside trap, that requires a lot and a lot of energy. And Hansi Flick, he's going to have to be very careful, as well as his technical staff, in order to manage the minutes and the intensity in which the players are experiencing in training and during matches. Because that Bayern game, fantastic game from Barcelona, but it did require a lot of our players. It taxed them physically. And in order to be ready for tomorrow's match against Real Madrid, the players would have to be rested a little bit ahead of tomorrow's match. Hansi Flick, he talks about Fermin Lopez. He says, "I haven't decided yet whether he'll start or not. But he's been involved in 3 goals. That's exactly what we want for him, and he's shown it. We're very happy, and that he's back from injury, and that he showed the performance was very good." And Fermin Lopez, he put in a phenomenal performance against Bayern Munich. He was fantastic. The intensity off the ball, his on the ball, as well as some of his turns, and as well, the key contributions in getting those 2 assists. Fermin Lopez showed a very, very important role against Bayern Munich. And will he be starting tomorrow against Real Madrid? That's the big question mark. Hansi Flick now talks about Lamine Yamal. He says, "I always talk to the players. As I always say, we have a great team and exceptional players like Lamine. He's doing very well. But then you see what Cubarsí does at 17 years old, and he is also very good. We need everyone at their best for tomorrow. That is the most important thing." And both Lamine and Cubarsí put in a fantastic performance as well. Overall, the entire team, I don't think there was a single player against Bayern Munich who put in a bad performance. And in order to beat Bayern with the scoreline, you do need that to happen. But we're going to need these 2 players to replicate the exact same form against Real Madrid. Hansi Flick, he emphasizes on Cubarsí. He says, "It's great to be able to see how he plays. It's all down to him. What he's doing, he always has that hunger to improve and train hard. He gives everything for the club and is on an extraordinary path without a doubt. All the players are on the right path. And Cubarsi, you saw Vincent Company praise Cubarsi as well towards the end of the match and before. Cubarsi he has the talent to be an exceptional center back and a center back who could be a Barcelona's pillar for so many years. Hansi Flick, he now talks about Lamin's game versus Bayern. He says, especially for the Bayern game, I wanted to do one thing. I had several things to do, and the most important one was to press Davies from the back line into midfield. Because when he started to attack, we know how important he was, and we saw it in the first goal how it worked. He's a fantastic player with the ball. You could see that against Bayern. It is an honor what Lamin did. And for us, it is important that he can improve in defense. He is doing well. And Lamine Yamal, something that was really underrated of his game is his ability to track back. Because even though we praise Lamine's ability on the ball, Lamine Yamal, he also covers ground and he does track back. He helps Koundé out a lot defensively, and that just adds to Lamine's game, and it shows how vital he is both offensively and defensively. Hansi Flick now talks about being praised. He says, it's nice to be praised, but I know what my job is like, and my job is results. When we win, well. When we don't, bad. We focus on how we want to play. There's a big change here at the club and at Barcelona, and you can feel it. The connection is admirable. The atmosphere last Wednesday was fantastic. That's why we play football and we give everything to win. It's our job, and everyone, when you play, you do it for them. For the fans, playing the Clasico is what you want most. In Germany, there are Clásicos, but it's not the same. Barca Madrid is the Clasico in capital letters. And right there, the biggest match in the world of football, the biggest rivalry, Barcelona, Real Madrid. That's going to be absolutely huge. Hansi Flick confident in the team, and I'm confident as well. Hansi Flick right there showing that Barcelona, they're ready for tomorrow's match, and we're going to be going with full intensity. But now, guys, I'm going to be looking at some of Raphinha's words, because Raphinha, a player who's gone from less to more, a player who has really, gone to a different level in these past couple of weeks slash months. And when you compare Rafinha to when he first came in, for that roughly 60 million price tag from Leeds, and he was very heavily criticized, for those performances, and Rafinha, he told ESPN, and he says, ever considering leaving Barcelona? And Rafinha responds, man, there were several moments, not just one. My first 6 months here, the period from the summer transfer window until the World Cup, was a season in which I didn't have the best of starts, so it crossed my mind to leave the club. There was a lot of self-doubt. I have a nasty habit of criticizing myself heavily, so to speak, so that pressure made me think about leaving. Then obviously after the World Cup, I had a huge turnaround, managing to put up great numbers in 6 months. And I completely agree right there. Rafinha, when he first came in, he wasn't doing brilliantly. Xavi, he was still figuring out his role in the team. You had Barcelona have Dembele and Rafinha on both of the flanks. And Rafinha, he basically shown or shunned in basically the latter half of that season. Raphinha, he continues on. He says, last season, after the injuries I had, the sending off in the first game of the season versus Getafe, which Barcelona did drop points, and also at the end of the season, seen a lot of things that the club wanted to sell me, that the fans wanted me to leave. It also ends up crossing your mind to leave, to go somewhere where there's no pressure. And that's Barcelona. Barcelona is one of the biggest clubs in the world, if not the biggest. And playing at this type of team, it requires to you not only be, at a very, very high physical level, but as well mentally strong, because Barcelona, the outside media, the fans, they are going to criticize you if you are not performing. And Rafinha able to turn things around. And look at the treatment that he's receiving now. Rafinha continues. He says, but football is no fun without pressure. Football has to have a little pressure. I always have dreamed of playing for big clubs, playing big games for the national team, and you can't realize those dreams without pressure. The pressure comes with it. Completely agree. And he continued on. So thank God I didn't let myself get carried away by those thoughts that naturally ended up going through your head. I just focused on working hard and adapting to the new roles I had to play out on the pitch. And that's Rafinha's quotes, and they're really impactful, because Rafinha, it basically gave insights to his first couple of months at Barcelona, where he actually contemplated about leaving the club. The pressure was getting to him, and thankfully he kept on. But now the last, piece of news, or the last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is in regards to Dani Olmo, because Dani Olmo, he talked to TV3 about the El Clasico, and he also gave his words ahead of that match against Real Madrid. Dani Olmo, he starts about saying, El Clasico, there are plenty of reasons to play a Clasico at the Bernabeu, as we arrive with this dynamic with a 3-point lead in La Liga after an important victory in the Champions League with the possibility of getting 6 points ahead. He says one less rest day than Real Madrid. It does show, but it's not an excuse. It's not the first time it happens. It will be 100%. Our idea is to win, and that is what we want to show on Saturday. Dani Olmo was asked on whether he can start for against Madrid. He says, I can be a starter in Madrid. I really want to help again on the field, but the coach decides, and we all have to add up. Whoever plays will be prepared. And will Dani Olmo be given the start? We're going to have to see. And, I personally, if Dani Olmo is 100%, then I start him. But I completely understand as well Hansi Flick opting just to field the same exact lineup in which absolutely crushed Bayern Munich. Dani Olmo, he talks about Hansi Flick's style. He says, we are demonstrating superiority not only in the results, but also in the game, and we want to continue doing so. Flick's idea is clear, and we try to capture it in the same way on the field. It's going quite well, but can always be improved. That's the good thing. And right now, he talks about the specific goals. He says, we don't think about whether it's possible or not. We in the Champions League. We know we can compete and we can be there, but not if we can win or not. There's a lot left, and we only think about the next game. And it makes sense. Go day by day, focus on the games that are coming by. Don't look, for example, months ahead, because the situation can be completely different. Barcelona can be having a fantastic moment right now, but in a couple of months that can completely change. Let's focus on the now. Let's focus on the present. Let's focus on Real Madrid, and let's get that victory. But guys, those were Hansi Flick's, Raphinha's, and Dani Olmo's words ahead of El Clasico. Raphinha talked about his intention of leaving Barcelona at times, the pressure getting to him. Dani Olmo discussed the possibility of becoming a starter, and Hansi Flick telling that the team is ready ahead of what is going to be a monumental game. And there's going to be a lot on the line, guys. Barcelona right now, they have a 3-point lead ahead of Real Madrid. But we do know that Real Madrid, they haven't been playing that great. And so it is going to be a blow for Barcelona if they drop points, because Real Madrid, they haven't been great in La Liga so far. And we do want to extend that 3-point lead to a potential 6 and just reflect how much better Barcelona they have been over Real Madrid. But obviously, with the quality of Mbappe, Vini, Jude, etc., they're going to make things very, very difficult for us. But guys, let me know down below your score predictions. In yesterday's episode, I did say 4-1 Barcelona to have another huge victory over a continental giant. But let me know your score predictions down below. But guys, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let me like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace out, guys. Cuando me muera no quiero nada de tu vida.